Hey, what is going on, crypto people? Happy Saturday to each and every one of you. Holy moly, what an exciting time to be an early adopter in this new asset class that is the digital asset space. Listen, my friends, you and I, we're playing a game that 99.99% of the masses don't even know is being played. And we are winning. I know at times it feels like we're not winning, but we are winning. Trust me when I tell you that. Listen, we're going to go over the Ripple's latest report um, about kind of the state. I think it's more of a state of the union, if you will. But we're going to go over that. I think it's very, very promising, and I think it's very, very telling. And I think it's a way for Ripple X, Monica Long, to let the community know where it is that they are and where it is that they're moving away from, where they're headed. It's important to understand that. We can't get to where we want to go unless we fully understand where we are. I think Monica Long does an excellent job of letting people know the real deal, right? You got to get the corporate talk. You got to get the corporate speak. So we're going to cover Rap Economist's post as well, in addition to kind of going over his report. He did a really, really good job breaking down some stuff. So it's important to kind of get that. I don't know this whole deal with the 1.4 billion in total of buybacks that Ripple has done. I don't know, like I don't know, good, bad, intentions. I don't know what it is, or what it's about. I mean, we can get into that a little bit. Ultimately, um, they made a decision financially to do something. It may be other things to it. It's cool, but I think if you look at the overall, it's good for Ripple, what they're doing. For optics wise, cash flow wise, all these things are important, but I'm not sure if this is leading to some type of IPO. Um, it may be in a long term roadmap for an IPO, but I don't think it's something that's leading to kind of any immediate IPO. I don't think an IPO is going to happen for a minute, tokenized or legacy. I think it's going to be a while for that. But for sure, I know when Brad Garlinghouse says liquidity to shareholders, I mean, you know, it's right. This buyback is a form of liquidity to the shareholders, right? So, but I know that's their number one thing. Has to be, right? It has to be. So we'll see what that looks like. But I don't know. We'll see if it's a. I don't know if you should look at it as a good or a bad thing. I just think that it's a step in the progress. It's a step in the roadmap for a bigger thing and to go for their goals and aspirations. And we're going to go over their goals and aspiration in this live stream as well. So interesting thing, I saw some stuff on X this morning about well, Jungle did something. You guys know Jungle was on the live stream last night, and my live stream last night was about covering one or two things that he said in a post about the XRP sales. And so the live stream was a lot about that and how I couldn't put it together that there were no sales. And so we had a little back and forth and essentially in disagreement and trying to kind of figure out how that works, right? And I bring it up for a couple of reasons. Number one, this is not the first time he and I have had a back and forth and disagreement. Most of the times it's not in the live stream, it's on X. We've never got to a point of um, uh, being nasty to one another on X. Um, what's the other thing? Blocking each other on X or claiming it's cancel culture, right? Or there's the Twitter police is for a reason why it's the Twitter police. So I'm only going to post, and I'm not going to respond or intelligently have a back and forth. I'm just going to post because if you oppose me, if you have a different view, an opposing view, well, you're on the Twitter police now, and you're a part of cancel culture. So I'm just going to post my stuff and have you respond so you can build up my post. But I'm not going to respond because an opposing view might put you in the cancel culture stuff. So we don't he and I don't do that, and I think it's important to really understand that you can agree to disagree. You can come to different conclusions on something and not kind of shove someone down some cancel culture and Twitter police or Twitter police thing. Like, give me a break already with that stuff, right? So this roundtable thing. So I think he mentioned my live stream, and we were talking. He asked me a question about kind of like the lending protocol and what they're looking to do there, and he kind of shared something that I shared in the live stream about, what Ripple X, what can be done on the XRPL. That's the bottom line. What's the potential of something that can be done on the XRPL? It just has to be one feature, which is this lending protocol thing. And so after posting that, it kind of got into some, different things. I think Jungle recommended, like, you should have him on. I think it was Crypto Eddie's channel. And then it just kind of dwarfed into maybe they're going to have like a little round table. On the Chain got involved, and Chip from On the Chain, and XRP Mickle, and that they all kind of got in this thread. And I'll share that. And I think it's important to have things like that. I know Crypto Eddie did it once or twice before, because I think it's important that as a community of content creators, voices, if you will, for the community, it's important to have back and forth. It's important to have dialogue, conversation, if you kind of get a sense where everyone kind of feels things are going, because your perspective is not always the perspective, right? It's your perspective, right? And if you want to learn and grow, Jungle Link is here. What's going on, Jungle? It's important to get different perspectives. You got to be an adult in the room and agree to disagree on some stuff. See some things differently, right? Like if you can't point out some shortcomings of Ripple Labs, after all the awesome stuff that you reported, you can't report some stuff that's not going good, that's not going well. That doesn't make any sense to me. How are you valuing your community by not doing that? Don't fall for the, you're being negative if you say something bad about Ripple. Don't fall for that. Don't fall, don't listen. Those two dudes backed themselves up into a corner. Don't fall for that. Their thing. They backed themselves up in the corner. If you take a sponsorship because you're trying to feed your family, and you take a sponsorship, which, by the way, obviously there's nothing wrong with that. You take a sponsorship, and the number one product of that sponsorship is Ripple shares, and now you're not in a position to point out the ills of the company because you took the sponsorship. Don't try to put it on the community. Don't put that on the community that you can't speak to the ills of a company because you backed yourself into a corner. That's not cool. It's on you. You did that. Just do your sponsorship job and don't speak any ills. But don't try to put it on the community and say the community is negative, or that some of these influences out here are just being negative. Nah, bro. You did that. You backed yourself up into the corner. We didn't do that. You did it. You just got to own up. That's what it is. You backed yourself into a corner. So when people like Jungle speak to some ills, that's the truth. That's the community deserves to know the truth. Give me a break. Well, I got mad respect for Ripple. I mean, I've said it all the time on my channel. All the time, genius in motion, all the time. But he is right. He's right. Where's the wind that they're running around? Where is it? We need to see it, right? And the other part of that is they pivoted. This we're going to talk about on live stream. They went off chain. We say it on the channel all the time. Ripple went off chain. But, they were running around with a solution, and the vast majority of the potential customers were like, we're good. Why do you think they pivoted to SMEs and small, those small businesses? And why do you think they did that? Right? The great thing is they can pivot. They got great stuff. The great thing is they can pivot. So in any case, um, that's kind of where it is, right? So kind of got that round table. So well, that'd be nice. That'd be kind of cool to hang out with those guys and kind of have some conversations. And for us, for this channel, it's always been about the holders. 99% of the people in crypto or XRP holders are not shareholders, right? They're XRP holders. They're crypto holders. They want to do DeFi, right? And so, for me, when it comes from the Ripple perspective as one company who values an asset and who's looking to do things on the XRPL, right? I want to know what's going on the XRPL. Don't you find it strange that we didn't discover that the XRP is challenging to build on until 2024? That's what David Schwartz said. David Schwartz said it's challenging. It's hard to build on the XRPL. Not enough people know how to teach the few people that know. The few people who know how to do it aren't teaching the other people how to do it, I guess. It's hard. But I think that's interesting that we didn't find that out until 2024. I think it's interesting. So, thank God for XRPL Commons, right? And what the work that they're looking to do. So the idea is to find out what's good and what ain't, and then adjust accordingly, not to try to hide it. That's not cool. But this recent pivot onto the XRPL, if done correctly, Ripple X, if done correctly, can be ginormous. You got to speak to the crypto people. It's the market share is in the crypto people. It's not outside. Let's create some network adoption, right? Let's go up and to the right on the adoption curve before we, go outside of crypto, right? So they've learned that, in my opinion, they've discovered it, and they're coming online. Their muscle, their flex, as we like to say, is on the XRPL and all that stuff going on there. Those other blockchains don't have that stuff. The flex is on the chain. The flex is the genius of the automated market maker, not Liquidity Hub. The flex is on the ledger. Bring the Liquidity Hub, do the ledger. Bring whatever else they got going on to the ledger. That's where the flex is. You understand? So in any case, there we are. I've rambled long enough. Thanks, Gary is in the building. What's going on, bro? Oh, Crypto Eddie's here. Crypto Eddie says here too. Crypto Eddie is here. We got the OGs in the building. What's going on now, Rodwell Nobrega? How are you, bro? Strength gains. I saw you check in late at the last minute last night, bro. I hope you caught that replay. Rudy Poo is in the building. Vance, I'm opposite of Gary Gensler. Yeah, Look, as long as he's opposite of Gary Gensler for, the entirety of these next 4 years, cool. But, these guys on one side one day and they're on one side the other day. They're in agreement with these views this day and in disagreement with the same views another day. So long as he can be pro crypto for the next 4 years, cool. I think it's going to fare well for the digital asset space. I really, really, really do. But other than that, I trust these guys about as far as I can throw them. You know what I mean? Now, you guys all know I'm definitely a Donald guy. I'm a Donald guy. Why? Because the country needs it right now. We're a disaster right now, right? Jungle League says some of it also XRPL growing up. Look at AMMs. Ripple was partially correct. Independent devs were partially correct. There was this big fight, and Ripple devs and community worked through it. Yeah, that's exactly right. That is exactly 1000% correct. Like we've said on the stream before, who was in charge of the direction of the XRPL back in the day? Who was that? That wasn't some DAO or some governance thing. You understand? That wasn't a DAO governance decision on this direction when they came to the fork in the road. When they came to the fork in the road with Codius smart contracts and payments. I'm pretty sure, I don't know, I wasn't there, but I'm pretty sure they didn't put that up for a vote. Right? By the way, David, he thought that was the way. And, he agreed with the corporate guys. You got to get Chris Larson's background's payments. His background is peer-to-peer payments. He was one of the first dudes to do it, right? So, they made a decision. It ended up not being the best one. So they pivoted, and it took them about, I would say around 2 years is kind of when they realized, 2 years ago. So we'll see how it goes now. But I'm telling you, as far as I see it, for someone who's been in a bunch of ecosystems and a bunch of Telegram groups and a bunch of Discords, and, being in the Solana ecosystem and kind of seeing what they got going on there. And also, I took Crypto Eddie's advice like years ago and like, look, if you want a real perspective, it's probably a good idea to pop your head outside the XRP bubble and look around, see what's going on outside of the XRP bubble. You understand? Different communities. And then I took a step further. I'm like, who's in this space that was successful before they got into the space? Now, that's a really different perspective. That's, Max Kaiser and Anthony Pompliano, I'm not sure if you can get an unbiased view in that camp, right? You understand? So I started heavily into Raoul Pal, right? Heavily into Gary Cardone, right? Heavily into Robert Kiyosaki. What are those dudes saying? What do they think that's important to the digital asset space? You get a well-rounded view. But because I went to the different ecosystems and seeing how they're thinking, they're not all equal. They're not all, some of them get it, some, they don't. But it gives you a great perspective of, once you see the numbers tell the whole story. When you look at the numbers, there's a formula for why Solana leapfrogged XRP and the XRPL. There's a formula for why that is. It's not the technology. Like they got it. They understand attention, they understand community, and they built useful products. They understood attention, community, and useful products. And that's why, that kind of stuff happened. They attracted some people. Why do you think they attracted the people that they attracted? There's a reason for that. You got to get it. And Ripple can do that. I mean, they can definitely do it. But it's, for me, that was a ground up approach. And now, not only are they doing stuff in DeFi, people building on Solana they're out grabbing market share in the real world. I mean, Devour Go is going in the DoorDash space. The DoorDash space. Hive Mapper is got a big fight, but they're trying to go grab some market share from Google Maps. Now both of those things have some tokens, but those aren't necessarily crypto things. They got a token there on Solana. They each have a token. Helium Mobile, what are they going to try to do? Try to get up there with the T-Mobile? It's a few people ahead of them. They're out there in that market share, but they're on Solana with the token. You understand? They get it, right? So they get it. They understand it. And this is what we can, look, I said this on a stream last night. on the live stream last night. I'm like, how is there a Solana Pay and there ain't no Ripple Pay? I don't. You have to help me out with that one because I don't get it. But in any case, that's kind of where it is. So Leo Messi is in the building. How are you? Coinbase is finally selling XRP again. I was buying the dip, says Rodwell No Breaker. Yeah. Jungle says that fight, kind of in-house thing wasn't pretty, but it worked. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, this is something that should have happened in 2012. And I'm on live stream on record saying win DAO, win governance, like that should have happened in 2012, but it didn't. But here we are now, and they're figuring some stuff out. But I'm telling you, Eddie, they better get this liquidity incentive event correct. When this lawsuit and all that stuff is over, they got to get that right, man. They have to get that right. So I wanted to cover Wrath Economist's post on X about the Ripple, this recent Ripple report. Here it is right here. Wrath Economist, he does a really good job of giving, context and a perspective that I think is hugely valuable to the community. So let's go over this real quick. Ripple posted this on the 19th. Ripple's ambition is to be the #1 digital asset infrastructure provider for financial services by building the core components on and off ramps, custody, compliance, and liquidity needed for enterprise to integrate blockchain into their businesses, right? He said, this is an important article as it consolidates the developments we've seen over the last few years into one clear, coherent statement. I would love to know what his background is. Wrath Economist's background. We now know what Ripple's business goal is. We now know what Ripple's goal is. It's to be the #1 digital asset infra provider for finance. It is both bigger than the XRPL and reliant on it. That's right. That's where the flex is, my friends, on the XRPL. He goes on here to say now he's responding to Monica Long's post. Monica Long said, wondering how Ripple's recent product and acquisition announcements fits with our vision of an internet of value? The answer, we're building holistic digital asset infrastructure to bridge the gap between the on-chain and off-chain worlds of finance. And I think that is massively smart. Massively smart. The institutions want to come, they just got to figure out a way how to get here without getting themselves in trouble and having it be kind of done easily for them as well. Wrath Economist says, notice the framing, how, quote unquote, Ripple's recent product and acquisition, ANNCS, fits in with our vision. I don't know what that AN announcements. Ripple's recent product and acquisition announcements fit with in with our vision of the internet of value, tying things to a coherent identity. Massively important, especially when they look to do an IPO. It's got to be coherent. It's got to, you know what I mean? You have to be able to say who it is that you are. Yeah, you got to know who you are. You got to know where you're going, and you got to know how you're going to get there. That's what people are looking for. In a sense, Ripple as a company now makes more sense with a defined business sector beyond experimental. I mean, 10,000% correct. Nicely done, Wrath Economist. Nicely done. Then he goes over David Schwartz's post about said blog post. As you'll see in our latest blog post, says David Schwartz, Ripple is focusing on how to integrate more of the XRPL ledger's technically and financially sophisticated features directly into our business. In other words, they understand that the flex is on the XRPL. That's where it is. That's where the differentiators are. That's where the net positives are. It's on chain. You know, fine, right? We've been doing all these videos about the technologies. Now we're going to show people the prowess of the XRPL. So we say on the channel all the time. It says bringing the benefits of DeFi to our customers globally in a secure and compliant fashion. That's what I say. If Polytrade can do it, Ripple can do it. If IX Swap can do it, Ripple can do it. If Undo Finance can do it, Ripple can do it. It's no question. Right? So Ralph Kahneman says this. Here is David commenting with a description of DeFi and the ledger as you would hope. Ripple wants to be financial plumbing with digital assets. And Ripple uses the XRPL for their own plumbing. What it is, fam. It's what it is. It's always been the XRPL. It's always been. And I'm glad they've come around to that. Right? Well, with a startup company, you know, it takes some time to figure stuff out. You know, most of them are gone 3.5, 4 years. They got past that and the 10-year. You got to give them props for that. But you also got to understand, you know, it takes time to figure some stuff out. I'm fascinated by their next 10 years and what's going to happen. So anyway, that's Ralph Kahneman. That's some good stuff there. Vet says this, that's really where it's at, in my opinion. If you can sell, simply speaking, your back end to customers so they can use the tech, that's indeed the goose to be after. Right. And I think this is what he's trying to say is, look, you got to get them to understand the prowess of the XRPL. Right? You got to figure out a way to get them to understand that. Once they get that, you know, stuff will happen. And they will. We say this on the channel all the time. You and I, as retail crypto people, you know, when we gone from Ethereum $6 fees to Arbitrum and Optimism 6 cents fees and ZK Sync's 4 cents fees, we're good. Right? Aren't we good? 1, 2 cents. Aren't we good with seeing Stargate Finance as opposed to, remember the Polygon bridge years and years? You remember that Polygon bridge years and years ago from Ethereum to Polygon? You remember that? Days, like some craziness. So we're good with Stargate Finance right now. We're good with 1 cent Solana, 2, 4 cents Optimism, Arbitrum, and ZK Sync. We're good with that. Who's gonna really, I mean, be giddy like 14-year-old boys and girls of moving anything of value in 3 to 5 seconds for 0.00001? Who's going to be giddy about that? Institutions. These hedge funds, all that, those folks. Those folks are going to love it. Right? They're going to love it. So you got to introduce them to it. Not try to build some products off of it, off the XRPL, and then try to take that product to them because you think that'll be more comfortable for them. Oh, bring them on the ledger. Bring them on the ledger. So I think it's a really good move. I really, really do. I'm looking forward to it. But they better get this liquidity incentive right. They better figure out a way to have the XRP holders smiling from ear to ear. And one of those things, I believe, can be this latest protocol, lending protocol thing. I believe that can be it. Crypto holders don't want to sell their crypto if they don't have to. Imagine putting the average retail person in a position to lend their asset, to lend it. The average retail, the bank teller, the landscape guy, the mom and pop small business owners being able to lend their assets and not have to sell it, they can lend it. That's a good deal. That's a good deal. So the lending protocol in its first iteration, I get it, this underwriting and this credit check stuff, and who's that going to appeal to? Who's going to be that target audience? It's going to be people like One Main Financial. It's going to be people like Lending Point, Lending Tree, in my opinion. Again, that SME thing, so they can tap into the liquidity that's in the crypto space. It's a win-win, I think. It's a win-win. This is the first iteration. I think certain people will allocate, I don't know, $500 worth of something. You don't have to put all of it. $1,000 worth of something. Right? By the way, what if you can take that dirty, nasty fiat that's being debased down to -0 and buy some stable coins and lend that? Think about that. You being a lender of last resort. Think about the retail person being to be in that position. So that's what I see can happen. First iteration, it is what it is. It'll appeal to certain customers, but I think that David Schwartz's vision is those customers over here who, I don't know, they're working on Lending Point. They're working on, how can I get some dirty, nasty fiat to start a business or to pay off debt, right? And the idea is to get them peeking into what's going on in crypto, what's going on in XRPL, right? That's the idea. That's the idea. But the bottom line, though, to me, it's the One Main Financial and it's the Lending Points. And that word getting around, that marketplace getting exposed to the XRPL. To me, that's where it is. That's going to grow. It's going to go from One Main Financial to Lending Point to Lending Tree, right? It's going to grow. And that's Chris Larson's wheelhouse there, right? That'll grow. The word will get out. There's some liquidity over here that they can tap into. I think that's the win for sure. That is the one for sure. Now, on the borrowing front, I'm not doing, underwriting and credit score stuff. I'm not doing that. So when they get to the next iteration of collateral loans, and they get to the next iteration of under collateralized loans, right? Over collateralized loans, right? When they get to that stuff, under and over, right? When they get to that, okay, here's my assets. I'm willing to, and hopefully they're going to be able to do this in a non-custodial way, right? Leveraging, I don't know what it's going to take. I don't know what the technology is. But leveraging that, it's going to be great for the crypto borrower. It's going to be great for Bitcoin people, by the way. Bitcoin people don't want to sell their Bitcoin. They want to be able to take loans against it. Right? And so, and there's like two or three centralized things that are kind of very similar to Celsius, but somewhere along the line, you're going to learn that's not the best move. People are going to want, some better options, because you never know what's happening. It could be a nefarious dude in the background, or it could be an inept, incompetent dude in the background. And until we get some rules and regulations that say, yeah, no, that's their stuff. They lent it to you. It's their stuff. Get it back to them. Until that happens, why are you messing around with Linden or the other thing? You don't know what's going to happen. Hang out in the smart contract world where things execute and they don't execute. Things execute, right? As long as your collateral is there that has enough value, you can borrow against it. And you make payments when you make them. Is your collateral is on the line there? How are you going to manage it? The smart contract stuff is not going to take your stuff until the value is no longer at the right deal. You don't have to mess around with any kind of central stuff. Centralization, customer service. You understand the rules. The loans in DeFi, I think, are pretty cool. I think they're pretty cool. And I think it also speaks to something that I think is just hugely important. This less and less of a dependency to have other people managing our stuff, whether that be custody or any other thing. Let's wean ourselves off of that, right? Let's wean ourselves off of that. And I'm a prime example. I had two loans, one in a smart contract, one in a centralized spot. Guess which one, even though I never defaulted, never was late, never anything, on time with everything. One was centralized and one was just a smart contract. Guess which one got me in trouble? All the centralized stuff, where I'm relying on an email from customer service and a phone call for customer service, where they asked me to reach out and make the phone call to try to figure stuff out, and then didn't respond and just went to liquidate an on-time, never late, third or fourth time loan person because they were in trouble. Smart contract didn't do that. Smart contract didn't do that. So anyway, any case, so I think, hopefully, the Ripple X team will figure some stuff out. And I think DexFi.pro is going to really leverage that lending protocol. I really, really do. Rudy Poo. Pepperidge Farms remembers, right? So any case, Wrath Economy, I think he did a really, really good job of sharing that. I want you guys to listen to Caitlin Long here. This is interesting to me that she's speaking to this. Look, the truth is the truth. Can't we handle the truth? The truth is there's some nasty stuff going on with current administration, Gary Gensler at the SEC, right? It's important to understand how the banks try to leverage and how certain administrations will give into, this kind of nonsense. It's important to understand it. Can't hide our heads in the sand. Got to know what's good, the good, bad, and ugly. So Caitlin Hester said this. New SEC Commissioner Hester slams the way in which major banks won backdoor permissions around the anti-crypto rule, SOB 121, to custody crypto. This is a quote, apparently. I think that process has been just terrible around SOB 121. Take a listen.
That we don't, one of the reasons that I have really been opposed to SOB 121 is because it has taken this position that we don't want to have experienced players custodying crypto, which seems to me a very strange and non-investor protection oriented position. I'm open to and happy to see developments that allow more people to come in and participate in the custody space. Again, it should be done in an orderly way. I think the end goal of having parties engaging in crypto that have experience from other parts of the world that they can bring into crypto, that's generally a good thing. Unfortunately, too often you see government trying to drive players out who would be interested in participating, but they're not welcomed in. And so, yes, that is a potentially positive development. I would like to see more participants in custodying crypto.
Yeah, more participants. In other words, in addition to the banks, right? Which I think is important. I'm just a big self-custody thing now, and especially given the Chapter 11, Chapter 7, whatever the bankruptcy is, especially given that because there's no rules around your property rights, especially after reading The Great Taking and understand what's actually in law and enforceable by law to take your stuff, especially. So, and I get it. I get all the challenging stuff, but the challenging stuff with custody is just going to get better. The challenging stuff with self-custody is just going to get better, isn't it? It's just going to get better. Some might suggest that supporting your assets on a hardware wallet like Ledger is more difficult than Tangent. Right? Tangent seems to be significantly easier than the ledger. Those are two forms of self-custody. Can't your ma and your pa get a tandem wallet? You don't have to mess around with seed phrases, or you have the option to mess around with one if you want. You got 2 or 3 backups. Aren't people used to taking care of their wallets? Aren't they used to taking care of their cards? Can't they figure that out? We're not talking about 75-year-old people. I mean, haven't we learned a lesson with the bank that when you deposit your stuff, there is no longer your stuff? Haven't we been exposed enough to that? I mean, those are the realities, right? So Caitlin Long said, wow, Hester Peirce politely says what many of us are saying about the SEC. It arbitrarily created a rule to try to kill crypto, but then it started granting backdoor, quote unquote, exceptions from the rule for big banks. She calls the process terrible indeed. I mean, think about that. All right, so let's go over this Ripple article here for a second. I rushed through it last night. It was kind of, I rushed through some stuff, but I think the important part is they're really telling you kind of where they were and where they are and where they're going. And payments kind of was that, that cross-border payments thing was their first venture, right? This is the thing that they made a decision away from smart contracts and to go head first into all in the cross-border payments. It says evolving Ripple's product suite. The first use case we tackled was cross-border payments, leveraging the XRP ledger and its native digital asset XRP to move value seamlessly. XRPL's out-of-the-box capabilities, speed, low-cost transparency, and scalability make it ideal for addressing the challenges inherent in legacy financial systems. And this is true. It's true, right? It's true. The approach to it was just done, was not the best choice. But they figured that out now and they're moving on. Payments served as a perfect entry point, a beginning point, given its clear pain points, high fees, slower transfer times, lack of transparency, and high error rates built on decades-old technology, right? It was an entry point. But in the end, when you're selling something to someone, they got to want it. You understand that they need it. Legacy stuff, it's broken, it's antiquated. You understand that they need it. But they got to want it. You understand? The customer has to want the thing. Today, our cross-border payment solution, Ripple Payments, has near global coverage with 80+ payout markets, which represent more than 90% coverage of the daily FX markets, processing more than 50 billion in volume. So those are good numbers. That's awesome. It doesn't that doesn't say annually. If it was annually, I would think they would say it was annually. It's probably something that's cumulative, and that's cool. Those are awesome. This essentially says we've been in business since 2012, and we're still in business. While we continue, listen to this. While we continue to view payments as the first killer application, and in parentheses, and most proven for crypto, Ripple offers more than payments today. We provide financial institutions with simple, secure, compliant digital asset infrastructure, which meaningfully improves how those customers create, store, trade, and move value. Archax is going to be a big deal. Zonix, I think, is going to be a big deal. Both of these things to the XRPL, right? Some stuff that the customers want. Some stuff that the customers want. That's what this is here. So a significant step in making this future a reality was the acquisition of Medico in 2023, a digital asset custody technology provider serving tier 1 banks across the globe, including BBVA, Switzerland, Forge, whatever. It's going to be interesting for the market share that Ripple's going to look to grab in custody. It's going to be, it's going to be a fight because, you know, BNY Mellon's still around. Like, so it's going to be interesting to see. But, you know, for every Google, there's a Yahoo. The goal is for them is they want to be a one-stop shop for custody, for moving and storing, all that stuff. Let's see if they can get there. I believe the lending protocol is going to be a big deal for them once they get it going. And I believe these liquidity pools that attract other business owners and developers is the key. There's a dev in a aspiring protocol on a business owner, D-app owner out there. But they're going to go to where liquidity is. They're going to go to where the attention is. They're going to go to where the community is. So doing this stuff on it with this liquidity incentive event, I think is 1000% the key because we have a great community, right? Solana has an awesome community and they all work together. They all help to promote each other. Ripple X needs to learn some stuff and promote that kind of stuff within the developer community. Medico will be known as Ripple Custody. We're continuing to scale the team and custody business, as well as opening a new office in Geneva to address our growing custody footprint. And it's going to be interesting to see what kind of footprint the standard custody guy, what's his name? Standard Charter, standard, what's that dude's name? The Ripple just acquired. I forget his name now. It's going to be interesting to see what kind of footprint he can bring to the company here. It's going to be really, really interesting. You guys probably remember his name. I can't remember his name now. Can't remember. It says, we're continuing to scale a team and custody business, as well as opening a new office in Geneva to address our growing custody footprint. We've also decided to fold, listen to this, we've also decided to fold our Liquidity Hub product into our payment solutions, bringing the benefits of both offerings into a singular experience. Ripple's own experience building a payments business and mastering how to deliver liquidity to the right destination for the right cost at the right time taught us a lot about liquidity management. We're applying the lessons we learned from our experience to our customers' experiences. Right? So they learn some stuff. The customers have some experience about some stuff. And they're learning from it. They're going to kind of, you know, figure some stuff out along there. So, and in the end, Liquidity Hub is going to be part of the, you know, whatever payment solutions Ripple's calling itself now, RippleNet, I don't know. But they're going to be doing this by way of taking these little technologies, these little things, and bringing it on to the ledger. That's the most important part, in my humble opinion. And again, there's some breakthrough decentralized app builder just waiting for the community, the attention and the community and the network adoption and more daily active users, all that's what they're looking for. And of course, expenses as well. So hopefully Ripple's going to figure out some stuff for these people to be able to build inexpensively. Hopefully, just like Solana's doing with Fire Dancer. It's important. Massively important. And Solana has some ills as well. You know, that front-running MEV stuff over there, that can't be a continuous model. They got some stuff to figure out. But they got the main thing. They made the main thing the main thing. Attention, community, and let's go up and to the right on this adoption curve. In other words, people on their blockchain, daily active users. And don't get it twisted that it's just meme coins. Do not get that twisted. If you do, you're missing it. This is early this year, we announced our intention to launch a stablecoin called Ripple USD. So here, Monica's saying it's Ripple USD. The content creators, the entertaining type, keep saying the real USD. For some reason, they just always want to start an argument. They always want to start a maxi thing or theme. So anyway, called Ripple USD on the XRPL ledger and the Ethereum blockchain. This is a milestone for Ripple's business and a significant next step in bridging the gap between traditional finance and crypto. Once the Ripple USD launches, we plan to integrate it into the Ripple payments alongside XRP. This is going to be a great, this is a potential great cash flow for Ripple. For the XRP holder, let me see the liquidity pool. Let me see the liquidity pool and tell me about the rewards that you're going to share with the community, the XRP holders, for holding the stablecoin, for using the stablecoin, for participating in the liquidity pool. That's what I want to see. We can't let Arbitrum DAO outdo us. Arbitrum DAO, ZK Zinc, Manta Pacific. No, we can't let that happen. Come on, Ripple X, you guys got to step it up. Now, I get it. It's most likely waiting for this lawsuit. They're most likely waiting for this cloud on title to be gone, to evaporate, before they try to do a XRP rewards thing, right? Got to be careful, right? In the middle of a lawsuit, you don't want to stir up something. So once that's done, we'll see. But I'm telling you, I will be tagging them once the lawsuit is over. When liquidity incentive event. Don't tell me about all this cash you got going on in reserves. When liquidity incentive event. Let me get back to the chat, see what's going on here before I continue. Jack McDonald, thank you, David. What's going on, Dave? I knew somebody in the chat would know. Rudy Poo, happy weekend. D-Dre, what's going on, my guy? How are you? XRP Cookies, hey, C's. Loving the Flair Songberg FSS video. Well, thank you, my friend. I appreciate that. A big fan of Flair. Big fan of what they got going on. But you got to understand something right now. Like a lot of people, they want to kind of compare and judge and all that kind of stuff, right? They want to go in two camps, XRP camp, the FLR camp. That's kind of silly, in my opinion. It's kind of silly, in my opinion. But in any case, you got to understand the XRPL is up and running. It's doing what it do. The Flair thing ain't running yet. It's a promise. It's a promise. Looks great. Looks great. But it's a promise. You got to see what happens when workload is on there. What's workload look like? You got to see what that's going to look like. It's a great promise. But here's the other part. If you think that Bitcoin and Ethereum today is Bitcoin and Ethereum in 2009 and 2015, you're mistaken. It's going to be some bumps when it launches. It's going to be some bumps. It's going to be something. They can't get everything right. It's the promise that we're looking forward to. And my thing is, can you see that promise? That's what, aren't we blessed to be, aren't we blessed to be early on Flare networks? A next level layer one? Aren't we early? I mean, aren't we blessed to be early? How many of you guys would like to have been around early when Ripple was trying to give away XRP? David Schwartz was trying to give it away. When you have liked to have been around then? Some people in the community got some 0 something XRP. When you would like to have been around then? Even Ethereum. Technology is going to get better. You know, the Ethereum Foundation has finally figured some stuff out. It's been 8 years. And they finally figured some stuff out. It's a big move, but it was a big move to what I want to say. Dish out execution, if you will, to the layer twos. And we're just going to be settlement down here. That was a big decision. It's looking like the right one, but it was a big decision. Right? This is what's going to happen with Flare. It's going to make some stuff. They're going to get some stuff right. They're going to get some stuff wrong. They're going to figure it out. In the end, what's the ethos? Decentralization, security, and scalability. Their products, the FTSO and this layer cake, that's genes in motion stuff. You got to think, why is layer 0 and Stargate, why are they hooking up with Flare networks? You know, that don't just happen. You know, they're checking each other out. What you got going on over there? Oh, what you got going over there? Really? This is what you got going on over there? Okay. That's a big deal, by the way, that layer 0. And Stargate's no small thing either. By the way, I was on Stargate Finance, moving some stuff from, was I moving stuff from base to Arbitrum? No, yeah, Arbitrum. I was moving some stuff from Arbitrum to base because I got into a liquidity pool on base, right, on Airdrome Finance. So I was messing around a couple of days. And so I had it up open in the tab, and then I saw this Flare Networks announcement about Stargate, and I'm like, really? Let me tab down here and see if I can see a from and a to for Flare Networks. And fam, there was. This is stables right now, 2 stables, but there was. They're not even up and running yet. They haven't shipped everything. Flare Networks hasn't shipped everything. And they're getting this kind of integration. Do you understand? It's a big deal. And as long as we're here trying to create wealth and possible generational wealth, why we got to choose? Like, why do we have to be beholden to one asset and one community? Why? I don't understand that. Why the comparisons? And by the way, Flare Networks is bringing utility to the digital asset XRP. And it will most likely be first to do it in a significant way, in a DeFi type of way. Most likely it's going to be first to bring significant utility, not some institution somewhere doing something every now and then. With XRP, right? Most likely Flare is going to be first. But isn't it great that we'll have Flare and we'll have what's going to happen on the XRPL as well? Won't it be great to have choices? The Ethereum holders got all kinds of choices. I don't hear the Ethereum people complaining. The ETH holder has all kinds of choices what to do with their Ethereum. All kind. Wrapping stuff and taking it to other chains. I don't hear them complaining about competition and you're an anti-Ethereum person. There's an anti-Ethereum army. And it's not always kumbaya between the layer 2s and Ethereum, but the holders are not complaining that they have more options to do something with the Ethereum. Why should we complain? You know what I mean? Yeah, I'm really curious. I'm really very, very curious to see what is Jack McDonald going to bring to this ethos with Ripple. I think he's a smart guy, and I think he has connections. And it's going to be interesting to see what he brings to the stablecoin thing, his reach. It's going to be very, very interesting to see. Jack McDonald is, for me, a guy when he makes a phone call, people take his call. That's what he seems like to me. So we'll see. Pookie's in the building. How are you, my friend? We can have our cake and eat it too. LOL. Indeed. We can have our layer cake and eat it too. Why not? Of course. Don't be misled by people who back themselves up into a corner. And they can't do any videos on Flare and claim to be utility maxes. So anyway, in comparison, they can't do any videos. You know, in comparison, 100 link to videos to one Flare networks. For an XRP holder, it doesn't seem like that's a great ratio for an XRP holder. It doesn't seem like, what say you? Seem like a good ratio to you? Does it seem like a good ratio to me, to you? It don't seem like it to me. 100 videos to one? 100 link to videos to one Flare video. 100 I Trust Capital videos. They must not have read the Great Taking. They don't know to one Flare video. Doesn't seem like a good ratio to me, Strength Gains. Just doesn't seem like a good ratio at all. All right, what else did I want to cover with you guys? Is Jungles. The 1.4 billion XRP buyback again. I don't know what it's going to look like, but I do think, if they save that 1.4 billion, they're in a pretty good spot. They got some cash. Ripple has some cash. So I shared that. Let me see what else. Let's take a look at Mickle, XRP Mickle's take on the 1.4 cumulative. This is after many rounds of buybacks. Let's see what he has to say about that. Let's take a gander. Ripple has now bought back a total of 1.4 billion worth of its own shares from the private market. He says he believes is at $62 per share. What's behind this major move? Let's dive in. I don't know. Where's he getting that $62 per share from? Share buybacks. Maybe he knows some people, or maybe he owes some, some stuff. Maybe he sold, some stuff. Maybe, he's part of the buyback thing. I don't know. Share buybacks often signal a company's financial health and optimism, says XRP Mickle, about future growth. Ripple's decision to buy back shares at a premium price shows its strong belief in its values and strategic direction. This buyback could be Ripple's way of demonstrating confidence in the long-term potential of its technology and the XRP ecosystem. That's the one for me. They have to show strength. What are they going to do? Show weakness? They have to show that they believe. Investing in itself might strengthen its market position and drive further innovation. Interestingly, shares on other private equity exchanges were trading at much lower prices. So he's probably looked into that. Ripple paying $62 per share underscores its conviction in the company's worth and future prospects. Yep. Ripple has been revolutionizing cross-border payments with its blockchain technology. This move allows the company to consolidate ownership and focus on expanding its global footprint, possibly to attract more institutional investors. Okay. The buyback is expected to boost shareholder value and provide more flexibility for Ripple's future incentives. And this shareholder value is important for potential suitors, right? That's massively important for potential suitors. You never know, you never know who a potential suitor might be. Maybe this look makes SBI, even though they're the largest outside holder. Maybe they, come up with some more cash for some more stuff. It reflects the company's solid financial standing and a proactive approach to managing capital. Could Ripple be preparing for something big, maybe a strategic partnership and expansion into new markets or bolstering its position ahead of regulatory changes, or perhaps an IPO. Speculation is rising about Ripple going public. By buying back shares, Ripple might be aiming to have as much ownership as possible when that occurs, ensuring greater control and maximizing shareholder value. That's where I am on that one as well. Right, Garlinghouse is often hinted at an IPO. Right, yeah, strengthening its position is going to be a big deal. It's going to be a big deal, and that kind of world there, private company looking to IPO, that's a big deal. Ripple's ongoing growth and success highlights its strong leadership and innovative solutions in the crypto market and fintech space. This buyback is a positive indicator of the company's future prospects. What are your thoughts? So, yeah, there's a couple of things that I agree with them in there, and it makes sense for sure. Property Rich is in the building. How are you? Say Siege, what I missed? I think I will go to the start. Hope you're well. Thank you, my friend. Enjoy, my friend. It was a good talk. We had Crypto Eddie and Jungle Inc. pop in. So that was pretty cool. Oh, yeah, I got a notification that Senator Warren Davidson followed me. That was pretty cool as well. David Ocoin says the price was $61.48 on that buyback. How about that? The Muskegon aristocrats in the building. How are you, my friend? Good to see you. Good to see you checking in on a Saturday. So I wanted to cover those couple of things for sure. I do hope that we do get that XRP Roundtable. That'll be a good hangout. For sure. That'll be some fun. For sure. So there it is, fam. There it is. That's kind of the stuff that I wanted to talk to you guys about. You guys got any questions? I do like 5 minutes Q&A. If you guys got any questions about Flare, any questions about the XRPL and what you think is going to happen, any predictions, any questions about the price of XRP? Is XRP going to participate in the cycle? Anything like that? Mark says, when moon? So my only question now is, XRP going to go to previous all-time highs and just that's it for the cycle? Or is XRP going to experience new all-time highs? That's kind of my question, right? Because it's going to be able to participate in this cycle. The challenge, in my opinion, is a person coming in has so many things to look at and only so many dollars. How does XRP garner those dollars? Is the question. Because the XRP holder is already here. And sure, they'll probably FOMO when things happen and probably get some more. But how do we get the new person coming in that has just a list of places where they can park their cash? How do they attract those dollars? What percentage of those dollars are they going to snatch? That's going to be the question. That's why having useful things like Orchestra Finance, Anados Finance, DexFi.pro on the XRPL. The NFT projects are cool, but to me, those are too trendy. We need DeFi. DeFi, in my opinion, is not trendy. It's a new financial system to me. And so we need stuff that's going to be in that space doing some stuff. I'm telling you, this lending protocol, if they get it right, they will Ripple XRPL will have done something that the other chains have not done. If they can get the lending trees and the lending points and the one main financials and that little thing, if they can get that on the ledger, that's going to be a good deal. And I think people like Jack McDonald can have a conversation with those folks. So it looks like these guys who are chartists and who can chart some stuff. Looks like the cycle is going to tap out, peak out at the end of 2025. So, prices are, to me, price depends on useful decentralized apps on the XRPL and liquidity on the XRPL, right? Because where are retail going to be looking for, where should I invest? From the community. They're going to be on X. They're going to be watching YouTube videos. And we have to be able to make noise with some good stuff. You understand? We got to be able to promote awesome liquidity. Aerodrome finance on base chain is rocking and rolling because people are talking about it. Why are they talking about it? Because liquidity is because the liquidity pools is just they're banging. Not millions, tens of millions. It's banging. It's providing opportunity for retail if you know what you're doing over there. It's banging. Get the liquidity incentives right, I promise you, the community is going to grow. The daily active user is going to grow. We need a lending and borrowing market where people just want to lend. They just want to lend. They don't want to, mess around with a liquidity pool. Right? We got to have those options. That's right. When we're talking about that, and we're excited about that, again, who's going to be the Ave of the freaking XRPL? Who is that going to be? What is that going to look like? That's what we need to know. And is RippleX building out the stuff that allows someone to build an Aave-like project on the XRPL? It's really that kind of simple. I can't tell you how many times I borrowed against my XRP to go live my life. And in an Aave-like platform. You know what I mean? Rashad Adams says, sir, please, my prediction, it will be 589 USD for XRP. Yeah, one day, not this cycle, but one day. One day. I'm telling you, if they get this on this XRPL thing right, with this liquidity event, I'm telling you, they get the game of attention and community, okay, and going up the network adoption curve. I'm telling you, look, I'm telling you, it's going to be a game changer if they get that right. It can't be just some boring stable coin. That's not going to work. Get the stable coin thing right. Do a little. There's right now, there are stable coins where the holder of it can earn yield on the stable coin for holding it. Get that right. Take a peek over at MakerDAO, figure out what it is they're doing. Take a peek over at Flare Network, see what it is that they're doing with that USDX. Figure it out and bring that to the XRPL. And in addition to that, give me a reason to participate in an XRP Ripple USD stablecoin liquidity pair. Give me a reason. I will be there. Give me a reason. With this lawsuit, they can't be doing any kind of airdrop and stuff. They can't do a flare drops like thing right now. But when it's over, what can they do? When it's over and the idea of appeals is done, toast, over, what can they do? And what will they do? I'm telling you, that's the one. That's the one. I saw a post on X. Any other questions? You're welcome, Rashad. I saw a post on X from somebody who said, if you would have spent $100, I think he said a month in 2018 going forward on XRP, you would have 1 billion XRP. If you dollar cost average, I don't know if that's correct. I don't know if that's correct. 1 billion XRP? I don't know. But that's what the dude said. XRP Markets app. What do you like about the XRP Markets app, the Muskegon Aristocrat? Like, I've seen the app. What do you like about it? Any other questions, please don't hesitate to ask, guys. I have a few minutes. I have a few more minutes. So I see the XRP Markets. I feel like it's like a data thing, you know, information for data. That's what it feels like to me. I don't know. That's what it feels like to me. So, for example, where should I look at? Should I look at Camino? Yeah, I'll look at Camino Finance on Solana. Let me share that with you guys. This is the kind of stuff we need. And I believe it's coming. They got to figure out a way to get people to build on the XRPL that's not challenging and difficult and hard and all that other kind of stuff. What's going on with that? What's going on with that? Right? So this is Camino Finance. This is an example where you can borrow and lend. And then there's 1, 2, 3, 4 other things, like 5 things you can do. 5 things that the retail user, no, not portfolio. 1, 2, 3, 4 things that you can do here. They got 2 markets. They got a JLP, 3 markets, a JLP market, a main market, and an altcoins market. The JLP market is really for after you win Moon and you can park your stuff like a savings account. Then there's the main market, right? You can supply and you can borrow. If you supply, in other words, a portion of your XRP, not all your XRP, a portion, 1%, 2%, 3%, I don't know, a portion, supply and earn an APY for just merely supplying. Understanding the risk of the XRPL. What kind of risk you think is going on with the XRPL? Understanding whatever particular DApp might have a risk to it. And so because you know that, you don't put 100% of your stuff to get 4.59%. You put a little portion, no small part, $100 worth, $50 worth. See how it goes. Let the game, don't chase the game. Not even on the XRPL ledger do you chase the game. You let the game come to you. But, we need a Camino Finance on the XRPL. Right? Look at this one. If you supply USDC, they're going to pay you 10.5%. 10.5%. Would you take that on your, stable coin for a year? Would you be good with that? Think about that. You can take that dirty, nasty fiat that's inflation hedged and debasement pillaged and earn 10.5% on it. And now, if you got the right DeFi strategy, this can be part of your strategy. If you understand, if you're a part of the Patreon, you can understand this and how you leverage that and how you leverage the cycle and how you leverage the bear market and bull market. These things are important. But 10% is pretty cool. Look at PayPal. This is an incentive that the PayPal USDC is doing in conjunction with Camino. 17.5%. Dirty, nasty fiat into USDC, into PayUSD, or dirty, nasty fiat into Solana, into pay USD. It's still a dirty nasty fiat, just because it takes on a different character called Solana. It's still dirty nasty fiat. Turn the Solana into pay USD, and they're going to pay you this. That's pretty good. So it looks like Camino was only offering 0.01% to do this. But PayPal reward programs, incentive, you see what it says there? This position earns additional incentives. In addition to the points you get, you see the boost value is 3x. I'm there, I'm on these things for them points because I want that Camino token. That's me. Yeah. Will I take 17.5% and pay USD? Why would I not? You see the encouraging saving principle here? It's a little encouraging savings again, right? You understand? That's what's going on. Not hanging out, right? It's encouraging savings here. Understanding risk tolerance, and portfolio management. This is what the wealthy people do. They understand risk tolerance and they master portfolio management. This is the opportunity that we get to learn in this new financial system. That's pretty good. That's pretty good. 17%. Now, if PayPal can do that, can't Ripple X? Do you see what's coming? PayPal's in the stablecoin game. When the Ripple USD comes out, which stablecoin are you holding? Which one are you holding? My first thought is Ripple's. But if Ripple can come out with an incentive thing, Ripple X comes out with some incentive thing and it's 2%, that's not treating my assets well. You have to go to where your assets are treated best. Listen, I'm going to be on Ripple X. I promise you. When this lawsuit is out, I'm going to be doing post after post on Ripple X. I want to see what they come up with. You can't be coming out with that statement. You better have some liquidity. They better be hooking up with Orchestra Finance and Anonymous Finance and DexFi.pro with some incentives like PayPal. It's $1. It's $1, 17%, 17.5% on your dollars. Isn't that good? Pretty good. So we need this on the XRPL. We need this on the XRPL, and this is kind of exchange that we need on the XRPL. Will Orchestra become this? I don't know. This is on Solana. You can swap, basic swap stuff. They got some pathfinding stuff going on in here, by the way. We just announced that. You can swap, and your swaps are market swaps, or you can swap and do limit order swaps where you set the prices. If you're interested in that kind of stuff, if you happen to be some kind of, trader guy or a gal, you can do the limit order stuff. I don't do limit order stuff. I just swap and I'm good. But you can do it. You can do it. Look how this chart comes up here. I think that's pretty fast. And it's a 15-minute chart. I don't know, 15 minutes. I guess that would be a smart chart to look at. Is that correct and up? Jito, which is one of their staking platforms, and Solana. And this is candles is every 15 minutes. So this will help you in kind of figuring out low limit order price. Then they got this. It's a DCA strategy. You guys know we're big into the DCA strategy and how well it works. They got this thing set up. Pretty cool. All right. So I would not be, I want to allocate JTO to buy Solana. So let's do USDC. I want to allocate USDC to buy Solana, right? Every minute, probably not. Every hour, probably not. Every day, probably not. Every week, possibly. Every month, definitely. And then you can pick how many times you want to do it. So that would be every month, right? So that would be 12. And you can do it. You can put the amount in that you're going to do, and it's on autopilot. Remember how your mom and pa taught you to put stuff on autopilot when you're paying your bills, when you're saving, so you can build up your credit and all that kind of stuff. You can put this on. You can put your DCA strategy on autopilot. You just got to make sure that the wallet has the USDC and they can make the purchase every single month, and it'll make it for you. It's pretty cool, don't you think? Listen, fam, this is going to come to the XRPL. The definition of vision is seeing it before the masses see it. It says here, to minimize the predictability of your DCA strategy, orders are filled within a randomized padding of plus or minus 26 seconds. You see what's going on here? Pretty cool. You can do that. Property Rich, that's pretty cool. You can do that. I'm a big Solana person. This is pretty cool. You can set this at $10 a month. You can set this at $20 a month. You can set it and forget it. That is really, really cool. And obviously, if you don't have the USDC in the wallet, it's not going to execute it because you don't have it in the wallet. I don't see where there's a fee or anything to do this. I don't see it. It feels like it's just something that they're doing for the community. A project that's looking to grow and create network adoption, giving community some valuable tools. This is what it feels like to me. Then it's got this little tab here that you can toggle on or off. It says advanced pricing strategy. It allows you to set a minimum and a maximum price range. Well, good night. That's pretty good. Let's connect in. Let's connect and do $50. All right, let's do that. Let's see. Let's just put the amount in here. Let's do 50. I got it. It says every month I'll be doing it. It's 12 orders. What's the fees? Platform fee is 0.1%, so there is a fee. Estimated price per order. Okay, cool. 50. Sell per order. What is the sell per order? 4. Oh, see, I got 12 orders. Should I do one order? I think I should do one order, right? So I don't keep having to pay a fee. I can just do one. Can't be lower than 2, so 2. Okay, there it is. So 2 orders. It'll be like 50-50, right? Sell total is 50. Sell per order is 25. Receive Solana. Order interval 1 month. Start date immediate. Estimated end date 19 August 2024. So it says every month. So what happens after August 2024? So anyway, so I'm going to do that. What happens after August 2024? Right? I mean, so think about that. Think about this convenience. Think about this tool for you as a crypto holder. You understand? You're going to buy an asset that you think is valuable. Right? And if you mouse over here, it's got all kind of stuff. You can buy their meme coin. There's a dog with hat in here. You can buy the Perps JLP. You can buy the JTO staking token from their staking platform, right? Whatever it is you want to buy. It's pretty cool. So, thank you. So 2 orders. Should I do? I'm trying to figure out how do I do this that it just does it every month without me thinking about it. Let me ask the community if they know, because maybe I don't know. Hey, Crypto Eddie, what I like to know is why you pronounce your name as Eddie. Property Rich. I don't know if she's still on, but I'm pretty sure she does pronounce that as Eddie and not Ari. The XRP toolkit, says David. That's interesting. The XRP toolkit coming to you Is it Udemy, Udemy, seen on Digital Perspectives today? No. Risk of XRPL. What the world? What's going on here? Risk of XRPL. It's 3,600 transactions per second with 3-second payment settlement. Oh, okay. XRP yields and borrowing protocols coming to XRP market. Okay, got it. Thanks. That's good to know. It says yields and borrowing protocols coming to XP market. Nice. Okay. Be nice to see that. It'd be nice, definitely, to see that. So I don't know how many orders, but I'm going to do that. Start the DCA. Oh, my wallet's not up. Right? You can do that. Confirming transaction, $50. Get a little Solana. Unconfirm. Unavailable. Auto confirm is unavailable. Nice. I like that. You don't want to do no auto confirming. You want to be able to confirm yourself. There it is, and it's done. That's pretty cool. They even got a little value average thing, which I think is interesting. Value average, back test result. If you started value averaging Solana, right? This is for the smart people who can figure out, how can I gain even more of a valuable asset at a better price? It's interesting. And they lay it out here for all you smart people. And it says the P&L on that would have been $107, 31% by taking advantage of a value average strategy. I would have to learn more about that to get that. But that's pretty cool. These things are coming to the XRPL, in my opinion. You just got to get there. All right, fam, there it is. It's good to know. Thanks, the Muskegon Aristocrat, for sharing that yields and borrowing protocols coming to XRP market. That is pretty cool. So there it is, family. I'm excited about the XRPL. I'm excited that Ripple and RippleX are coming onto the XRPL. I do think that they can win in doing so because there is a leverage to the relationship that they have established with the small, medium enterprises, et cetera, that I think that can be valuable. Really looking forward to see what Jack McDonald will bring to the table. Really looking forward to seeing what that's going to look like. What is Zonix going to do with tokenization? What is ArchAX going to do for the XRPL and tokenization and stuff as well? So again, we get some numbers, we get some TVL. We start to see DeFi Llama listing the XRPL, where we can track TVL, we can track whether the blockchain is generating some type of revenue or not, all these different kind of things. That's when we start to go up. That's when we start to go up that adoption curve. All right, fam. So there it is. Thank you so much for hanging out. The Muskegon Aristocrat, Rashad, David, I appreciate you guys checking in. Property Rich, thanks for coming and checking in, my friend. Mark, thanks for hanging out, my guy. David, thank you so much for checking in. XRP Cookies and Deidre, I appreciate you guys checking in. Rudy Poo checked in. I appreciate you being here. Thanks, Gary, checked in. Rod Wonobreger, I appreciate you guys. Leo Messi, Jungle Link, appreciate you checking in, my dude. Strength Gains and Crypto Eddie, thank you so much for checking in. We appreciate each and every one of you guys. Listen, do me a favor and hit that like button. If you didn't do so on the way in, just do so on the way out. That'd be super, super cool. We'd like to get this channel out to more people who don't understand, who don't know, who are unaware of the fact that a new financial system is being built right underneath their noses. And you can do your part by hitting the like button, and subscribing to the channel. We got about 50% of people that are hanging out, listening, and enjoying the Crypto Siege, I hope. And if you're enjoying the Hangouts, please consider subscribing to the channel if you haven't done so. And don't forget to ring that notification bell, baby, so you know whenever we go live or whenever we upload a video. I'm going to end this one like I do all my videos and remind you guys of this. Old money doesn't want you to win. But that's okay, though, because you and I, we're already winning. And I would ask you to consider this, perhaps ponder the idea or notion of living your life permissionless. I'll talk to you guys soon. See ya.